Let's pay homage to the Buddha, fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Yesterday, I had explained the knowledge of discerning cause and effect. So according to the diagram, after attaining the knowledge of discerning cause and condition, in our meditation center, we continue teaching discerning characteristics, function, manifestation, and approximate cause of mentality and materiality. So according to the teaching of the Buddha, there are 7 purifications. The first one is purification of virtue. It is practicing morality. The second purification is purification of consciousness. It is practicing concentration. The third one is purification of view. The fourth one is purification by overcoming doubt. So to fulfill the purification of view, the third purification, it is necessary to discern the characteristic, function, manifestation, and approximate cause of ultimate mentality, materiality, and cause and their effects too. So after discerning ultimate mentality and materiality, if we practice characteristics, function, manifestation, and approximate cause of mentality and materiality also, it is okay to do at that time. But there are also some factors of dependent origination. We need to discern characteristic, function, manifestation, and approximate cause of those dependent origination factors too. Here I want to tell something, all of you. Our bodhisattva, he fulfilled the Bharami for incalculable and 100,000 eons. Many lives he could practice Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. The time he saw or he met with the Buddha, other Buddhas, at that time he could practice Vipassana up to the knowledge of equanimity towards formation, Sankharuppekka jnana. Because Bodhisattva is the one who is going to be Buddha, surely that he cannot attain beyond that knowledge, Sankharuppekka jnana. But in some of his past lives, also he could practice concentration up to psychic meditation. Also he can practice Vipassana. Also many his followers, there are many his followers when he was a bodhisattva. Our Bodhisattva taught his disciples Sila, Samadhi, Panya too. But as a Bodhisattva, he could not teach one characteristic. It is anatta, non-self characteristic. It is the ability of the omniscient Buddha only. Understanding anatta characteristic, we cannot realize Nibbana. To understand the characteristic of the anatta, non-self nature, so the teaching of the Buddha, in the teaching of the Buddha, it appears to practice characteristic, function, manifestation, and approximate cause of ultimate reality. As I have told all of you, in each kalapa there are 8 types of materiality. Before seeing the small particles, what does the meditator see when they practice the 4 elements meditation? Block of light. The whole body becomes block of light before breaking down into small particles. So to understand the characteristics of non-self anatta, we have to break down the compactness. So there are 3 types of compactness in materiality. It is very important to break down the compactness of this materiality. So the first compactness is, in Pali, it is said santati gana. Santati gana. Compactness of continuity. Another compactness of group. Samuha gana. Samuha gana. So the third compactness, the compactness of function. Without breaking this compactness, we cannot understand non-self anatta nature. So when you see block of light after descending 4 elements in your body, so just seeing the block of light in your body, you haven't broken down the compactness of continuity. So when you continue descend 4 elements in that block of light, it breaks down into small particles. So you break down the compactness of continuity. Okay? Understand? So when you see the small particles is not the ultimate materiality, just the smallest concept. If we still see particles as just particles, it is not enough. So you must discern, or you must analyze the 8 materiality that present in each particle. So you discern or you analyze hardness, earth element, water element, fire element, wind element, color, smell, taste, nutritive essence. So small particles is nothing, just a group of 8 materiality. If you can analyze in this way, at that time you break down the compactness of group. So they are just a phenomena only. Earth element also phenomena, water element phenomena only. So there is another compactness of function. So there is a function of earth element. So there is function of each materiality. So we must discern the function of each ultimate materiality that present in each particle. So by doing so, you break down the compactness of the ultimate materiality. So only then you will understand the anatta phenomena. Only at that time you are ready to practice, you are ready to contemplate the nature, dukkha, anatta. Okay, so that's why if we want to realize Nibbana, we need to understand anatta characteristic. If we want to understand anatta characteristic, we must practice characteristic, function, manifestation and cosmic cause of ultimate mentality, materiality, cause and their effects. So the Buddha's Dhamma is very deep and profound. So without practicing it nowadays, we cannot realize Nibbana. Okay, now I will continue. It's that knowledge of insight knowledge. Suppose now you are ready to practice vipassana. So the third knowledge is the knowledge of comprehension. So it is contemplating anicca, dukkha, anatta, seeing the arising and perishing of ultimate mentality and materiality. First, seeing the arising and perishing of the ultimate materiality, we must contemplate anicca many times, dukkha many times, anatta many times, internally and externally, again and again. And then we must continue contemplating, seeing the arising and perishing of ultimate materiality, anicca, dukkha, anatta anicca, dukkha, anatta of the past, present and future too. And then on the ultimate mentality, internally, externally, past, present, future, seeing arising and perishing of them, we must contemplate impermanence, nature, suffering, dukkha, non-self, anatta again and again. After that, now your heart, we contemplate separately, first on rupa and second on nama. After doing separately, we must continue nama and rupa together. After that, on 5 aggregates, and one by one. After contemplating anicca, dukkha, anatta on each khandha, we must continue 5 khandhas together. Okay, so this is the knowledge of comprehension. So another knowledge, the fourth knowledge, the knowledge of arising and passing away. At that time, you all must discern cause and effect again. Because of arising of this arises. And then because of cessation of this ceases. And this is a nature, this is the cause is a nature, the effect also a nature, and this we must do. I will explain generally only because I have to explain some other things more detailed. So the fifth knowledge is the knowledge of dissolution. First, we emphasize seeing the arising and perishing. It is the third knowledge and the fourth knowledge of insight knowledge. The fifth knowledge of the vipassana, the knowledge of dissolution, Mangaññāna. At that time, we instructed meditators just to emphasize the perishing only. Because of seeing the perishing of the ultimate truth again and again, internally, externally, past, present, future, you just see the perishing. Because of this reason, the knowledge of Tara arises. The knowledge of terror. It means a feeling of extreme fear arises. So this is a very good knowledge. Because of not knowing the truth, we attach very much one another. Because of attaining this jnana, vaya, so we fear of our life. We understand the true nature of life. So at that time, if we continue, we attain the knowledge of danger, adinava jnana. Before we see, we just see someone's duty, someone's duty superficially. So because of seeing the perishing again and again, after feeling extremely fear of the conditioned Dhamma, the next knowledge follows. It is the knowledge of danger. So after that knowledge, another knowledge, the knowledge of disenchantment follows. So nibinda jnana, nibinda. Understand that meaning? So after that, the knowledge of desire for deliverance follows. We want to free from these sankhara dhamma all the time arising and perishing. We can say this is sense of urgency at the time. After that, the knowledge of reflection, the Patisankhara jnana follows. After that, the 11th knowledge is the knowledge of equanimity towards formation. So here, please reflect the words it is used. The knowledge of equanimity towards formation. Sankharupaka jnana. Please notice the usage. So before this 11 insight knowledge, sometimes meditators fear. Fear. Sometimes meditators feel danger. Sometimes after that meditators feel disenchantment. And then want to free, want to make deliverance. But when the meditators attain 11 insight knowledge, the knowledge of equanimity towards formation, at that time, no fear towards formation. The mind is very calm and quiet at that time because of equanimous mind. But at that time, in the mind of the meditators, he or she is seeing the perishing of the sankhara dhamma very, very clear. This is very close to path knowledge. If the insight knowledge mature at that time, the knowledge of conformity, the knowledge of change of lineage, the knowledge of path, the knowledge of fruition, the knowledge of reviewing follows one after another. Seeing Nibbana as object, the path knowledge and fruition knowledge arise. So now you see, so without knowing ultimate mentality and materiality, without knowing cause and effect, we cannot practice vipassana meditation. So another thing, as I have explained all of you, without discerning characteristic, function, manifestation and approximate cause of ultimate reality, we cannot understand the anatta phenomena. Only when the omniscient Buddha appears in the world, he can teach us how to understand the anatta phenomena. Only when we can deeply understand about the anatta phenomena, path and fruition, knowledge will arise. What do we need to discern to understand non-self anatta nature? We must discern CFME. We must practice CFME. Okay, so now we all understand how to practice to attain path and fruition. Okay, Uttama Stayara Tam. So the first insight knowledge, the knowledge of analyzing ultimate mentality and materiality is knowing and seeing the first noble truth, the noble truth of suffering. The second insight knowledge, the knowledge of discerning cause and effect is knowing and seeing the second noble truth, the noble truth of origin of suffering. Having made the breakthrough to the first insight knowledge, we can proceed to the second insight knowledge. However, if we haven't made the breakthrough to the first noble truth, it is impossible to break through to the second noble truth, which is very profound. That's why after the Buddha attained full enlightenment, he declared, I have attained to this Dhamma which is profound, hard to see, hard to understand, peaceful, sublime, beyond reasoning, set out to be experienced by the wise. What Dhamma our Buddha has attained, which is profound, which is hard to see, hard to understand, peaceful, sublime, beyond reasoning. Beyond reasoning means not for thinker, subtle, to be experienced by the wise. This is what the Buddha declared after his enlightenment. Buddha continued, but this generation delights in sensual pleasures, rejoices in it and engages in it. Do you agree? This generation delights in sensual pleasures, rejoices in it and engages in it. So, for those who so delight, rejoice and engage in sensual pleasures, this matter is hard to see. That is, specific conditionality, otherwise, in other words, dependent origination. What does the Buddha say? Those who delight, rejoice, engage in sensual pleasures, it is very hard to see. What is hard to see? Dependent origination. Equally hard to see would be the cessation of all volitional formations, the abandonment of all the substrates of rebirth, the destruction of craving, dispassion and cessation, nibbana. And what does the Buddha think? If I were to teach this Dhamma to others, and if they did not understand me, that would be weariness and a trouble to me. Difficult or easy Dhamma? And you?
Difficult.
Very difficult and profound Dhamma. Nowadays, many meditation masters make this Dhamma easy. Possible? Impossible. Okay? So Buddha in himself, better not to teach the Dhamma. So he thought, if I were to teach the Dhamma to others, if they don't understand my Dhamma, it will be exhausted and trouble to me. Have you ever heard these words before? Yes. The reflection arose in the mind of the Buddha while he was alone in seclusion after he had become the fully enlightened one. At that time, he was dwelling at Uruvela on the bank of the river Niranjara at the foot of the goddess Bayan tree. You may remember now. Shortly after that, this verse arose in the mind of the Blessed One. This that I have attained, why should I proclaim? Those full of lust and hate can never grasp it. Leading upstream this Dhamma, subtle deep, hard to see. No passion-blinded folk can see it. This is the verse arose in the mind of the Blessed One shortly after his enlightenment. For this reason, as the Buddha thought about his realization, his mind inclined to living at ease. He was not inclined to teach the Dhamma, but you know Santati Brahma? The Brahma Santati, who knew and saw within his mind the Buddha's reasoning thought. The Brahma Santati thought, alas, this world is lost. Alas, this world will be destroyed because the mind of the truth finder, the Blessed One, the Arhat, the fully enlightened Buddha is inclined to living at ease, not to teaching the Dhamma. So you can consider how deep and profound the Dhamma of the Buddha is. Also, please consider how difficult to teach this true Dhamma. Because people delight in sensuality, people rejoices in sensual pleasure, people engages in sensual pleasure. Because the Dhamma of the Buddha, the true Dhamma, explains the fault of the sensuality, the danger of the sensuality, and not to enjoy the sensuality, not to rejoice the sensuality, but people dislike if they hear. Because of this reason, our Buddha, he himself, inclined not to teach the Dhamma. So, this great Brahma, as swiftly as a strong man might stretch his bent arm and bend it again, whereupon he disappeared from the Brahma wall and immediately reappeared before the Buddha. Arranging his upper robe over one shoulder and kneeling on his right knee, he paid respect to the Buddha with joint palms and said, Venerable Sir, may the Blessed One teach the Dhamma, may the Fortunate One teach the Dhamma. There are beings with little dust in their eyes who are perishing through not hearing the Dhamma. If the Blessed One teaches the Dhamma, they will become knowers of the Dhamma. Having said this, the Brahmin Sambati continued, Buddha, in the past, they appear in Magadha before you. Before the Buddha in Magadha, it appeared. What is the appearance? An unclean Dhamma, but impure minds of device. Open this door of the deathless, let them hear the Dhamma, let them hear the Dhamma awaken to by the pure one. As on a mountain peak, a watchtower sees the fog below, so a man of wisdom, seeing all, looks down from Dhamma's height. Free from woe, look on those who are sank in grief, oppressed with birth and age. Arise, hero, victor in battle, leader of the caravan, transverse the wall. Teach, O Blessed One, the Dhamma, and they will understand. This is Brahma Sambati's request. When the Brahma Sambati said this, the Buddha responded to him thusly, Brahma, it has occurred to me. I have attained to this Dhamma which is profound, hard to see, hard to understand, peaceful, sublime, beyond reasoning, subtle, to be experienced by the wise. But this generation delights in sensual pleasures, rejoices in it and engages in it. For those who so delight, rejoice and engage in sensual pleasures, this matter is hard to see, that is, dependent origination. Equally hard to see would be the cessation of all volitional formations, the abandonment of all the substrates of rebirth, the destruction of craving, dispersion and cessation, nibbana. And if I were to teach the Dhamma to others, and they did not understand me, that would be weariness and a trouble to me. Why did these thoughts arise in the Buddha's mind? There are several reasons. One is because of the profound Dhamma he penetrated. Another is that not only our Buddha, but all previous Buddhas too, were inclined to teach the Dhamma, were uninclined to teach this Dhamma after they attained full enlightenment. Let me repeat again. Not only our Buddha, but all previous Buddhas too, were inclined to teach this Dhamma this Dhamma after they attain fully enlightenment.
정각을 이루신 후 법을 살아보고 싶지 않으셨던 것입니다.
Another reason is that when this reflection arose in the minds of the previous Buddhas, the great Brahma likewise had to make the same request to each of them to teach the Dhamma. In the same way, when this reflection arose in the mind of our Buddha, the great Brahmin Santati made the same request of him to teach the Dhamma. The Buddha understood that people of that day worshipped and venerated the great Brahma. People of those days worshipped the Brahma, venerated the great Brahma. This is one reason. He knew they would be open to the teachings and inclined to listen once they realized that the great Brahma himself had requested that he teach the Dhamma to them. Some, when the Buddha inclined not to teach the Dhamma, in their mind they feel doubt. Why? Bodhisattva fulfilled the Bharani to teach the Dhamma. After fully enlightenment, inclined not to teach the Dhamma. What is the reason? I think now you all get the answer why. So, after the first request, then once again, for the second time, the great Brahma Sambhati asked our Buddha, Supreme Buddha, may the blessed one teach the Dhamma. May the fortunate one teach the Dhamma. There are beings with little dust in their eyes who are perishing through not hearing the Dhamma. If the blessed one teaches the Dhamma, they will become knowers of Dhamma. Then the Buddha explained for the second time why he was inclined to living at ease, why he was not inclined to teaching the Dhamma. But the great Brahma appealed to the Buddha for a third time to teach the Dhamma. At that point, our Buddha, recognizing the Brahma's entreaty and utter compassion for all beings, surveyed the wall with his Buddha's eye. Whereupon he saw beings with little dust in their eyes, and beings with much dust in their eyes, and beings with sharp faculties and dull, beings of good and bad disposition, beings both easy and hard to teach. How many types of beings did he see? Beings with little dust in their eyes, beings with much dust in their eyes, beings with sharp faculties and dull, beings of good and bad disposition, beings both easy and hard to teach. Few of them were living in fear of wrongdoing and the world beyond. He gave an example. Just as in a pool of blue, red and white lotuses, some are born in the water, grow in the water, and not leaving the water, thrive in the water. Some are born in the water and reach the surface, while some are born in the water and having reached the surface, grow out of the water and are not polluted by it. In the same way, the Buddha saw some beings with little dust in their eyes. Three types of persons are mentioned in the simile of lotus. They are like, number one, lotuses, which are born in the water, and when having reached the water surface, grow out of the water and are not polluted by it. This is an Ogati in new person. Have I explained all of you 4 types of person? Yeah. So I will now recite in Pali person. Ogati Tanyu. Ogati Tanyu. Ogati Tanyu person. Second type of person, Vipachitanyu person. The third type of person, Neya person. The fourth type of person, Bada Parama person. So the first type, Ogatitanyu person, it is like lotuses, which are born in the water and, when having reached the water surface, grow out of the water and are not polluted by it. The second type, Vipachitanyu person, is like lotuses, which are born in the water and that reach the water surface. That type of person, Neya person, is like lotuses which are born in water, grow in water, and without leaving water, thrive in the water. So this is the three types of person Buddha saw when he surveyed the world with his Buddha eye. However, in the Anguttara Nikaya, a fourth type of person is also mentioned. It is like lotuses that are born in water, grow in water, and without leaving water, they die in the water. Which one do you want to be? Ogatitanyu person. Don't want second person. Okay, now I will explain. So among these four types of persons, the first three types can make an end of suffering.
Yes.
So, who is the first type of person? So the first type of person is one who can awaken by simply listening to condensed instruction, brief instruction. Venerable Sariputta is an example of an Ogatitanyu person. Do you want to be first type of person?
Yes, sir.
Sariputta attained the state of Sotapanna after simply listening to a short stanza with only 4 lines. So please listen now and find out whether you too can attain the level of Sotapanna. If you can, I will be very, very, very happy. Are you ready to listen?
Yes.
Pay attentively. Yedama hetu bhava desam hetu tathagato aha des sensa yo nirodo evam vadi mahasamano. Finish. Anybody who attains Sotapanna?
She couldn't understand the meaning.
So Venerable Sariputta realized the attainment of Sotapanna after he heard the words Yedama hetu bhava desam hetu tathagato aha. But before the word aha, he attained Sotapanna. So there are 4 sentences altogether. So he attained before finishing second sentence. We need to understand the reasons for such quick attainment by people who lived in the time of the Buddha. Nowadays, people argue about it. Some even believe that it is not easy to practice. It is not necessary to practice. This is what I had experienced when I was in Singapore. So one of the Buddhist fellowship center established by young people. Young people means 10. So within 20, 30 over and then 40, they established one of the Buddhist fellowship, Buddhist center. So this is the center in which they used to invite various teachers from various countries. Because nowadays people, they just think about who is famous. So they invited world famous teachers from different countries. So different teachers teaches different Dhamma. Many people are confused. So among those teachers, one teacher taught them, nowadays it is not necessary to practice. Just by listening the Dhamma, you can become a noble. It was a time I was in Singapore for meditation retreat with our Abbot, our Pa-Auk. So one day, that center invited me to give the Dhamma talk. So after giving the Dhamma talk, along the way I come back to the center. But they asked me, one day, one of the teachers taught us it is not necessary to practice meditation. Just by listening the Dhamma we can attain Sotapanna. Is it really? How do you think? Now already finished listening one stanza. So that's why I want to remind all of you, even people, they follow those who are famous. Buddha said, the way leading to Nibbana is one. The way leading to fame and gain is another. Which way do you want to follow? The way leading to Nibbana. Right? So that's why if we just emphasize being famous, sometime or many times you cannot understand what is the true Dhamma. If we all are like those people who like famous people, who want to follow famous people, we may experience or we may encounter many difficulties to know the true Dhamma. Some are famous because they know how to be famous. Some are famous because of teaching the true Dhamma. So that's why we need to differentiate which one to follow. Buddha himself remind all of us, if you hear the Dhamma, what they say, this is the teaching of the Dhamma, what I heard from the Buddha's own lips. Don't be in a hurry to accept that teaching. Check or compare with my teaching. If it is conformity with my teaching, accept it. If it is not conformity with my teaching, reject it. Buddha said. Here I want all of you know about our center too. So our Abbot Pa-Auk is the third Sayadaw of that monastery. The third Abbot. When he was 10 years old, he decided before, if I were 10 years old, I will enter the forest and practice meditation. He decided. So at that time he entered forest and practiced meditation in one of the forests. So the second abbot of the Pa-Auk monastery, he met Pa-Auk somewhere. He knows Pa-Auk well. So when he was seriously ill, while he was in hospital, Pa-Auk went to see him. So that second abbot was seriously sick that he knew himself he will die. So he asked the Pa-Auk to be, if I pass away, please take care of this monastery instead of me. Our Pa-Auk to be didn't want to accept it because he just wanted to stay in the forest. But finally, to comfort the second abbot's mind, he agreed. Yes, I will take care of the monastery. Finally, the second abbot passed away. So our Pa-Auk to be, he went to stay in that monastery, but telling lay devotee to find new abbot. if the new ever come, I will leave this monastery. But slowly they knew the virtue of the Pa-Auk Sayadaw and they respect very much, but finally they don't find anybody. What I want to say is this point. At that monastery also, they, devotees, they used to invite different Sayadaw from different places. Our Pa-Auk Sayadaw to be never give the talk in that monastery. What I mean is, at that time, those lay devotees invited other Sayadaw, because different Sayadaw taught different teachings. Finally, lay devotees confused very much, and then they don't want to listen anymore. And they approach the Pa-Auk Sayadaw. They are planning. We will not invite any Sayadaw again. If Pa-Auk Sayadaw teach the Dhamma, Sayadaw is practicing, it will be good for us. Only at that time he started giving the talk in that monastery. So because of this reason, to know the truth, we have to be very careful. So listening different types of Dhamma make you all confused more. If we study the true teaching of the Buddha, if we study only the true teaching of the Buddha, so it is good enough for all of us. So when I was in university, one of my English teachers suggested me, he gave me one suggestion. You want to know? Don't read good books. Do you like? I feel surprised. Why my teacher saying this way? Don't read good books. He continued, please read the best one. There are many books, many good books in the world, isn't it? We have no time to read all the good books in our life. We should choose the best one. Which is the best one? The teaching of the Buddha is the best one. Okay? So that's why if we know the true Dhamma, we don't need any other thing. I suggest all of you to read Anguttara Nikaya. Okay?
Yes.
So you will not confused when you read it. If I continue, it will be 9:30. I will not continue now. Okay, I will stop here. Tomorrow I will continue. Any questions? Okay, I think no questions. Let's share memories.
So they would like to know the meaning of four line of words. Please. Then I will start with right.
For the meaning? The meaning is a little bit deep and wide too. Here it talks about cause and effect. Every Dhamma has cause. Every Dhamma arises because of their causes. Very brief but very deep and profound. Need to explain more, I think. Maybe later I will explain. If I feel convenient to explain. Idam me punya asavekaya vaham hotu idam me punya nippanasa pacayo hotu mama punya bhagam Sabba satana bhajemi de sabbe de samma punya bhagam labantu